And when you're on the banks of the river, it's pretty hard to think about anything else. There's rushing water, there are people rafting, people mountain biking, camping. It really is the through line of that community.
The warming climate is being felt in our state in a multitude of ways, and now the Colorado River is the most endangered river in the country.
The current mega drought in the western United States has created an unprecedented crisis for the Colorado River.
And 40 million Americans are in danger of losing their water supply.
The nonprofit conservation group American Rivers has named the Colorado the most endangered river in the U.S. Time's running out for a new proposal because the old rules now are expiring.
In 1922, the 7 basin states signed the Colorado River Compact, promising to share its waters equally between the upper and lower basins. On paper, it looked fair. In reality, the agreement divided more water than the river could provide. Today, the Colorado River shows the strain of those choices. The river's flow is smaller, warmer, and more unpredictable than at any point in recorded history. Wetlands have disappeared, and farmers are leaving fields unplanted. Against this backdrop, the 7 basin states are trying to renegotiate how the river will be managed after 2026, when current operating guidelines expire. Amid the tense negotiations, one group, the Colorado River Indian Tribes, is trying something new, making the river itself a party in the negotiations.
Kuchkamadu, Hemidao, Inyepimul, Amelia Flores, Makavchidum. Greetings, everybody. I'm Amelia Flores, chairwoman of the Colorado River Indian Tribes, and my heart is happy today. We must remember that it's not just about today, but it's also about tomorrow.
My name is Thomas Linzey, and I'm the senior legal counsel for a nonprofit organization known as the Center for Democratic and Environmental Rights. We've been talking to Colorado tribes and Colorado municipalities for 15 years. And unless the Colorado River is an actual party at the compact meetings, forget about it. Because the states are use the compact agreement and the meetings to simply divvy up water flow. But the river itself is not seen as an entity that has any kind of ownership or any kind of interest. And so until the Colorado River itself is at the table, you're cooked.
So the rights of nature movement is a paradigm shift. I think the rights of nature seeks to change the way we see the law. So in a normal case that's not rights of nature case, it's going to be the local community that's going to have to prove that they are personally harmed by whatever pollution is going into the river. But in a rights of nature case, like nature has a say. And so the people that are representing nature have to do this exercise that for humans is really, it's hard, but we can do it, and there's scientists that can help out with it. It's like, what does the river want? What are the interests of this river? At the end, I think it would end up with creating kind of like a guardianship for the river, like an institution where we have different people sitting at the table to try to decide how do we protect this river? And one of those the people there is going to represent the river.
Yeah, Gary Wockner. I'm the director of Save the World's Rivers, which has a program called Save the Colorado. And we protect and restore the Colorado River from the source to the sea. I've been at this about 20 years, and rights of nature is one of the issues that we work on. Corporations have personhood, right? They're not people. Property rights can have grievances claimed against them in the legal system. They're not people.
Because haven't you heard, silly folks? Corporations are persons. And on the front page of the complaint, it said, we are corporations, we are persons. And your ordinance, even though you formed a majority to codify your values, interests, and goals, your ordinance is unconstitutional.
Groups that are interested in pursuing rights of nature, however, face an uphill battle. Lawyers can face sanctions for proposing this novel legal theory. In 2017, lawyers brought a rights of nature lawsuit on behalf of the Colorado River, which failed after they were threatened with sanctions and disbarment.
So the Colorado case was a disaster. What you find is that when the shit hits the fan, people run for the exits. And this lawyer ran for the exits because the Colorado Attorney General came down on him and said, hey, if you continue to litigate this case, we're going to file for sanctions. The whole thing, excuse my French, was a fucking disaster. I've been sanctioned. I was sanctioned for I represented a small township for 12 years. And because they wanted to say no to a fracked wastewater injection well. Until we start talking about the structural stuff, it doesn't matter what we do on the outside. How that changes, probably massive civil disobedience. Whether civil disobedience through lawmaking or civil disobedience, just people saying, fuck you, we're just not going to do that anymore. And when a frack well wants to come in, they just 300 people sit down on the thing or start monkey wrenching the frack equipment. But it's going to take a lot of really hardcore, identity, which we lack.
I think that if the river could stand up in court and speak for itself, it would ask us why we're so resistant to cooperate with the river.
The Colorado River could stand up in court, would say, help, help. It's drained bone dry and never reaches the Sea of Cortez.
What would the river say? It would say, nice try. How about doing it right this time?
Every time there's been a major expansion of the moral community, all great ideas go through 3 stages: ridicule, discussion, and adoption. That means they all start out with ridicule. They all start out with people saying it's inconceivable. But after a while, the discussion begins, like it began with the abolitionists in the 1830s. They were tarred and feathered, hated even in the North, even in the free states. They said, we're going to persist. Radical environmentalists have similarly been disparaged and said, we're going to persist.